Good morning, world. I am Judy, your web-based therapist, making therapy accessible and convenient for our clients in Florida and New York, and of course, sharing information worldwide. Today, I wanted to talk about 5 communication tools to help. I said for couples, but I realized that right now we could all use those reminders. So I just say 5 communication tools we need to be applying during this pandemic, quarantine, stay-at-home order thing that we got to do. First is use your listening ears. Right now, everyone is so stressed. There's so much anxiety. Everyone is in the state of, we don't know what's going on. But it's important that we are able to listen to one another. Listen when someone is talking to you. Listen when you are in a conversation. We often have this tendency to listen with the intention of responding, or listen, or or waiting quietly for the person to stop talking so we could start talking. It's important that we're not doing that as much. It's important that we are actually actively listening to people so we're hearing what it is that they're saying, because right now, with everyone being so tense, it's so easy for things to be misunderstood. It's so easy for things to be misinterpreted. So it's important that we're taking time and listening to one another, listening to the person that's talking to you. And sometimes the person just might want to vent for the fact that they've been home for 3 days and they need someone to listen. So use your listening ears as much as possible. 2, ask questions. When someone is talking, if you're not sure what is said, ask questions. And when someone asks you a question, take the question at face value. Just take the question for the words that were spoken. Because a lot of times right now, or in a lot of cases right now, with people being so tense, we can so easily things can be misinterpreted, that, like I said. So make sure that you're asking questions. If you're not sure what someone said, ask for clarification. And if someone asks you for clarification, just take it as, hey, you know what? This person wants me to clarify, so I'm just going to clarify. Take questions at face value. And if you need to, make sure that you're asking questions. 3, use I statements. I statements, for those that don't know, I statements are a way of speaking where you are taking responsibility for what you're saying, and it helps the other person not feel like you're being accusatory. Because whenever we start a statement with you, the person listening, the person we're addressing, often get defensive, because you means that you're about to tell me I did something wrong. But when you start with an I, it's easier for the person to say, oh, okay, this is about you. You're saying something about you. Let me listen to what you're saying about you. So I statements, the thing are the person involved, I, the feel, that I feel that, what exactly is it that you feel, and what it was that caused you to feel that way. And then you can tell the person what they can do to help prevent this feeling, to help you not feel this way. So I feel sad when ABCD happened, and this is what I would like you to do XYZ to help me not be in this position. I feel threatened when you do XYZ, and I would like whatever it is that you would like to not feel threatened. So use I statements as much as possible, because you're taking responsibility for your own feeling, and it's a lot harder for someone to judge or defend themselves against how you feel, because how you feel is how you feel. 4, set a cue for pausing conversations. A lot of times when conversations start to get tense, people often want to walk away. Sometimes people want to just end the conversation. It's important that, especially right now, we're setting a cue so that you can let your partner or whoever you are talking to know, hey, I need to step away from this conversation. I need to take a minute to breathe. I need to take a minute to recompose myself. I need a minute. And of course, I always say, when you are the one who requests to pause a conversation, it's best if you set a time at that moment when you are requesting to pause. It's best if you set a time to pick it back up. But if you did not set a time at the time you paused it, at least be the one to initiate, hey, let's finish this conversation. Set a cue, and the cue does not have to be anything elaborate. It could be something as basic as, hey, I need to step away from this conversation. Hey, I need a break from this conversation. I need to step back. Whatever it is that you need to say to let your partner know that, you know what, at this moment, you need to step away from this conversation. Use whatever those words are and set that cue so that when you're in that conversation, when you're in that moment, you can just, say what you need to say and be able to step away from the conversation. Finally, be mindful of your words and your actions. People are a lot more sensitive right now. People are a lot more edgy right now. Anything and everything could be mistaken for something completely different from what you intended. So be mindful. Sometimes there are things that we say or do that normally would just someone would let go. But right now, because of the state, the condition, the emotional place that the person is in, so right now it could hurt more. It could be seen as more of an offensive thing to say. So be very mindful of the things that we are saying, of the things that we do to each other and in front of other people, with other people. Just be very careful so that in this very sensitive, in this very touchy moment that we're in, that we're not hurting each other. Let's do a quick recap. 1, use your listening ears, because right now it's important that we're taking time to listen to people when they're talking to us, and especially if they just need to vent. 2, ask questions. If you don't understand, if you need clarification, make sure you ask questions. And if somebody does ask you a question, take the question as at face value. Don't try to figure out what they could possibly mean, extra meaning behind the question. Just take it at face value and answer it. Use I statements. I feel blank when blank happens. I would like to blank. Whatever it is, that fill in the blanks. 4, set a cue for pausing conversations, because sometimes things are going to be getting tense, especially when you have this many people cooked up in homes. Set a cue for pausing conversations and make sure that if you pause a conversation, you initiate picking it back up. And finally, be mindful of your words and your actions, because right now people are a little edgier and more emotional and things can get out of hand more quickly. So be very mindful of the words and the actions that you express toward other people, because we're in this together. It's important that we're not hurting each other. And as always, if you or someone you know happens to be going through something that is more than handle, please make sure you reach out and get some help, because there is a lot of help out there. Even right now when things are closed, there are professionals who, like myself, who provide remote services, who are able, available, and willing to help. So find out who those people are in your community so that you can reach out and get the help that you need. And that is all we have for today. Good morning, world. Have an awesome day.